Whoa, yikes. Hello and welcome back to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So, it is, as I begin recording this, it is the evening of December 24th. So I'd like to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever holiday season you choose to observe. And we're going to do some cars, see what we can find here. This is the third of four of these that I have been trying to get rid of. This one actually, the factory color is like this really kind of unpleasant, it's an unpleasant sort of beige, very, very light purple, lavender. I mean, it's just not attractive at all. And the color that was actually on the car when I got it, when I started working on it, was like kind of like this puke green color here on the wall, and that was terrible too. Now this red and black is actually a livery, and I painted the rest of the car red to sort of match the red. It's not exactly right. You can see that the red here is different than that, but it looks better than leaving it whatever the other factory color was, because that paints the door jamb and the inside of the door, and I think like maybe inside the hood too. Maybe not, I can't really tell. But either way, I just wanted it to look good before I got rid of it. And so this is another $2.6 million out the door. Have one more of those to get finished. So let's do the junkyard thing. Maybe they'll have something special out there on Christmas Eve. Okay, so here we are and we don't see anything right away. That's not a good sign. Now what is this over here? This looks like an in-game car. It's got a V6, maybe not. What are you? FMW Roadster V6, okay. Unless something else shows up. Well, it's an RX-7, that's always a good choice. Let's continue on. Corvette C2. No. Yeah, no, that's not the C2. This is just the other one. I've done that car before. This looks like another Plymouth Fury. No white roof. And another RX-7. That leads, you know what? Let's do that. They're not super valuable per se, but it does have a rotary engine, which is a bit unique. The only cars that normally have those in the game are the RX-7 and the RX-3, and there's a couple of mods as well that use the rotary. And I like doing RX-7s. I think they're neat cars. That one was $12,000. I wasn't paying attention to how much the other one was. Okay, cool. Let's at least we don't have to do a vanilla car. So I'm probably not going to do the full job on both of these at tonight. I'll cosmetically fix them up so that they both look good, and I will detail restore one of them in particular. I'll detail restore one of them. Depends on how long it takes. I can usually bang these out pretty quickly. Yeah, I didn't think it had ABS. This one has more stuff on it than the other one did. Nothing in the interior. And that one is a nice canary yellow too. Already like the color on it. No, don't repair it twice. Move that over there. There we go. This one has like the racing livery on it. Did you actually... you didn't actually have... No, you didn't. I was just thinking that the bench seat might have been hiding back there. And what are we not going to use? That, that. Get rid of what... Was that the only window? Yeah, that was the only window. Have to go and get that other battery. Did I just put the fully charged... I did. Come on. Get that one. Put the fully charged battery back on the battery charger. I'm surprised it even let me do that. Okay, so... Don't know if this is a good idea. Because it's going to leave me needing to buy a bunch of stuff. There's a surprising number of body parts that we couldn't repair there. Okay, neither one of these cars had a radiator in it. Oops, and it wants radiator fan housing B. I think those things have clips too. I don't remember if it's clip A or clip B. Clip B. This is like one of the only ones that takes clip B on the air filter housing in the engine compartment. Most of them use clip A, and you can usually tell. I mean, you can usually tell. Most of the time, stuff is clip A, and you can, you're doing the air filter and you think air filter, so clip A, and that, in this case, doesn't work. has like none of its exhaust parts except for that muffler, and that was junk anyway. So what do I have for body parts here? 2 hoods, 2 left fenders, 1 right fender. Two trunks, left side mirror. So this is the right side fender for this car, because it's that color. And then the trunk is going to be that one. So that left side mirror is probably from this car. Actually, I shouldn't have put that on yet. Now it doesn't really matter per se which car the various parts go on, because they're both the same car and the parts are going to be the same. But anybody who's watched the channel for more than 10 minutes knows that that's not the kind of thing I can do and live with. Oh, damn it. I hate when that happens. Click once to bring it down, and then click and hold to lower it. Okay, so you are missing headlights in the front bumper. I'm going to need license plates around the board here, because it's going to be... This car has a front plate, I remember that. So we'll get front bumper, left headlight, right headlight. Car came from Tennessee. Actually, thinking about this, buy 2 of each window right now. Okay, so we don't have... Excuse me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. My cat was getting into something he shouldn't get into, and I had to go and take it away from him. Alright, so that mirror... So I don't have any rear bumpers, and I don't think I have any rear tail lights either. And no right door. My main objective here is to not buy extra parts. Right side mirror times 2. And actually, I don't think I bought a left mirror for the other car because I had one. So that means you probably need a mirror. And hopefully, that right there means that I have exactly what I need to finish this one. Where are you from? South Carolina. So the other one was from Tennessee. Nope, didn't have everything. Right fender. Whoop, I guess I didn't buy those things either. And I was feeling all cocky there for a second. So that should be, yep, 100% body. And we'll go and paint this one real quick. And I quite like this yellow, so I'm going to stick with it. I think this is the one that was $12,000 in the junkyard, $31,000 now, just as it sits, and not even a drivable car. It's not too bad, really. And then you should be also 100%, and we'll go and paint this one. Now I don't think I'm going to put that livery back on it. It was not this one, that one. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me. That's kind of neat if the color was different. I wonder if we can... I wonder if I can bump up the... No. What if I take it to like this? Make it more orange. You know what? I think I like this best. That looks good. The factory color was what? Yeah, no, we're going to go with the orange. That's really nice. I like that a lot. So this car was how much again? 31? I think this one is actually more valuable. 47. So I wonder why that is. This one has 97,000 miles. This one probably has more mileage. Yeah, this one has significantly more mileage on it. So that's the difference. I think what I'm going to do... Come on. Take all this stuff off. Now, what I try to do when I'm working on multiple cars is I will take off everything from the get-go that I know is going to be junked. The tie rods, the sway bars, the brake discs and pads, and the tires, the suspension, all that stuff is all thrown in the trash. So it's fairly easy to just get rid of it all, because you don't have to fool around with trying to repair it. And I think these things both have the same set of rims on them, the RX-7. I think this one was RX-7B. I want to get these shocks and these parts here, the springs, because this is the suspension arm rear end, which is a pain in the butt. It's my least favorite one to work on because it has so much stuff to it. That being said, though, it's very satisfying to put it back together. Are these RX-7B? Yeah, they are. I think what I'm going to do is pick some different rims for these. And I think the tires are all the same size, too. So that'll make things a little bit easier. I should go ahead and yank the transmissions now, too. Oh, I got that part. The rotary engine always amuses me because the transmission is huge, absolutely huge compared to the engine. And this engine is significantly missing a lot of parts. Well, actually, I guess it's got the whole block. No, it doesn't quite have the whole block. It doesn't have the front housing. Doesn't have the. It's missing a rotor housing and the front housing, so it's definitely not all there. Even with that, though, the rotary engine is very compact. And I was reading the other night, too, about, because I was curious, since Mazda was the only company that went in hardcore on rotary engines, and the last car that they made that had one was the RX-8, which is no longer in production. So they don't currently have a rotary engine vehicle in production, which is really kind of sad when you think about it. But I think that the rotary engine has, there was something about it that it was like more emissions and slightly less fuel efficient than a really well done, standard combustion engine. I'm not sure. I'm talking out of my ear here. I don't remember all the details. This engine has a lot more to it. It has all the housings. No oil pan. But there's also no pistons either. So we need to look at what all we have here. There's going to be 4 of those shock absorber A's to set up. That's not what I wanted. This is what I want. And then rear shock absorber A. Need to buy 4 of them. Actually, that's convenient. Get rid of these. And then I'm going to need 4 of each tie rod. Okay, got those done, so these ones can go. And I need 4 of this. Wasn't paying attention, so I don't know which front sway bar it was using. Just adjective-less front sway bar. And what does that leave us with? Brakes. Now, pads are not repairable and discs are not repairable. Probably repair some of this stuff at least. And that should leave us with 8 of each caliper and cylinder. You know what? I'm not going to repair any of it. Because I think we'll probably get like 3 of these cylinders and 3 of the calipers. And that just doesn't sit right with me. So that means I need 8 calipers, 8 cylinders, 4 of those, 4 of those, and 8 of these. And that should get us to gearbox stuff. That's not going to be fixable, 6%. So 1 drive shaft we'll probably be able to repair. And gearbox rot A. That should get us down. Yeah, see, this is the only stuff we took off just now that's potentially repairable. And we're not going to get that, and probably not that either. No, I think we repaired both of those transmissions. That's nice. 825 bucks. So that one steering rack wasn't repairable. Okay, so now we need to look at these wheels. And these are all, yeah, they're all RX-7B. And they are all 235/45/17. Yeah. Now I'm going to do the race tire. It is going to have a little bit more power. (235/45/17). Yep, got the right size. That was what I was concerned about there for a moment. 235, 45, 17. Okay, so now the trick is going to be to decide which rims I want to use. Because that one car that's worth like $47,000, it's going to be worth a bunch more. And I'd like to find something that would look cool on it. Don't really like these kind of gaudy ones. And this and this and that. This one's not bad. I'd like something that was cleaner. Like this one actually doesn't look bad. This F350 rim looks kind of neat. It might almost work on a car like this. And all the stuff in the rims DLC just looks like crap. I mean, there's a few in here that work pretty. Like this one here doesn't look bad. But most of these I have no interest in using on anything. This is awful. This is awful. This is pretty bad. No, that's the Dodge one. This one here, that's awful. That's really awful. That's awful. This one here is awful. And that's awful. God. Ooh, what do I want to use? Maybe that. That looks like it might be kind of intriguing. Let's give it a shot. What the hell? I'm going to use different rims on each car. I'm going to start working primarily on the orange one now. Okay, that should be all four of those, I think. I think it's going to be alright. I kind of like the asymmetrical look. I think it's going to be alright. We'll see. I mean, it's going to look different on the car than it looks here. Okay, so I'm going to flush four of those. I don't want to get rid of all of them just yet. Until I try to do one for one so I don't lose track of where I'm at. Boy, I thought you were almost finished. You're not. I'm just going to wait for this last one to get done. Okay, now. And since this has the front shock absorber A, it doesn't have upper suspension arms on the front end, which means there's four fewer bushings to worry about in this front than there is in the one with the double front suspension arm, which is a little bit easier, I guess. Though if you do this enough, you'll start to memorize the things. Of course, that engine this is going to be a full new engine. I can tell already, because you can't repair some of that. Like, you can't repair the rotors, for instance, and there's no front rotor in there to begin with, and the rest of it is all going to be kind of who knows what. I will bet you right now, though, when we take that engine out and take it apart, we're not going to be able to repair almost any of it. So this car is going to be getting a brand new engine. And this is going to be bushing hell, because this particular rear end has 16 bushings. There's 8 of each. And actually, once you internalize that, it becomes easier. Because I can remember paying attention to the fact that there were, counting the bushings and realizing suddenly that there were 8 small and 8 regular bushings in this rear end, and that really made it more simple. So see, there's 8 of these. And then 16 of the regular ones, because we have the front ones as well. Now, hub bearings are not repairable. Hub caps are not repairable. We're not going to get back that for sure. Oops, I bought 2 of those. That's probably fine. Gonna have the sway bar assembly to get rid of here. Sway B. That was rear sway bar B. I'm gonna buy 2 of each for those, because I know I'm gonna need them on the other car. So that takes us down to the potentially repairable stuff. I saw something fail there. I didn't catch what it was. Okay, rear suspension arm A, rear suspension arm, front axle knuckle cover. Looks like we repaired both of those wheel hub 3s. Kind of surprises me. Let's see, rear B. Like 1 of each. didn't get fixed. 2 lowers. Oh, rear wheel hub, that was the one thing I'd have missed. Okay, so if I counted all that correctly, I should be able to put this all the running gears back together. See, it does look really good when it's back together, though. I mean, it's such a pain to take apart. But once you can kind of pound through the assembly, and it really looks good when it's done. I mean, it just looks so much better when it's nice and clean. You have fresh new steel in there. And yes. For a second I thought it was trying to put one of the junky rims back on there. Yeah, that looks alright. I think that's going to be alright. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Have to take it outside, because everything looks different in the outside view than it does in here. Okay, get this stuff finished. Get that, get the remains of that engine out. Now, this is one thing I like about cars like this that use actual, in-game cars, DLC or in-game cars that use this particular front shock. You can see it's compressed a little bit, but it's compressed, but it's not mashed up there. There's some mods that use this, and they have it compressed so hard that the cap is all the way down here, and the spring you can't see. It's just a solid yellow bit mashed in between the cap and the base, and that's not really good. Oh, why am I having so much trouble finding the right thing? I really like this orange, man. I'm liking it more and more as every moment goes by. I wish I had done that Dodge Demon in this color. That looks really, really good. I'm actually gonna have to write down the numbers that gave me this color. I keep a notepad of things like that so that I can keep track, of things that look good like that. Well, we actually repaired a few bits. That shocks me. And this is going to be all kinds of fun because I haven't done enough of these to really internalize all the parts. So I'm going to need 2 rotor housing A and rotors. There we go. That actually went together faster than I expected on the backside. Spark plugs, oil filter. This is another one. This is one that is actually kind of disappointing because you can't really. There are very few performance parts that you can actually fit in this thing, which is too bad. Because you can get the spark plugs and like the ignition coil, I think they have, but there's not like the manifolds or the carburetor. I don't even remember if this thing has a carburetor. Front side housing rot A. I'm gonna need the oil pan. I'm gonna need 2 of those oil pans for sure, because I know the other car didn't have one. And actually, this is one that's kind of dumb. As you see there, you can put that on, but it's not really, it really shouldn't be there yet. Counterweight, water pump. Need the timing chain, alternator. There's so many little bits. And I swear, one of these days... Need the timing cover. You see those bolts that come up from the bottom through the oil pan should actually be engaging here, right there. You see the bolt? Manifold rot A. Now I know that there's a coil for this. and the wires, but not the manifold. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure this is the turbocharged engine. So I need, let's see, intake manifold B and exhaust manifold, that one. And it has like a bunch of different arms on it too, I remember. The turbo goes there, yep. There's no fuel rail though for this. It seems to me that there should be a performance fuel rail for this, but there isn't one. And I think there's actually an exhaust pipe that we're going to need to attach once the engine is in the car. Carburetor there. Arm B, rod A. Arm A, rod A. Oh wait, I need this. That's not even right. So we're going to have to get all the belts. Oh, and yeah, the power steering pump. That is back there. Roller A right there for sure. Power steering pump, roller B. V6B power steering pump. Carburetor. And that was rot. It's probably both of these. Oh, there's another roller that goes right there. I just don't build enough of these things to memorize them. Plus the Rot A engine is slightly I mean, it's very similar but slightly different from the Rot B engine that's in the RX-3. And each one of them has a few parts that will only work on that version of the engine. It won't work on the other. Of course, first thing we do, we put oil in the engine. And it occurs to me that I don't have a starter. And I don't know if this thing uses the V8 starter or the standard starter. Starter V8, there it is. And it's there. I saw it there in the parts list, the front exhaust section. And there you are. And there's no performance version of that, unfortunately. and buy 2 of them because I'm going to assume the other car is going to need one. Okay, that should be 100% across the board. Yep, perfect. Okay, now we can see what kind of horsepower it has. And I don't, as I recall, I recall that the increase is not huge. 291, get like 350 or something out of it, maybe. Actually, probably more than that. Yeah, 400. I didn't give it quite enough credit. Okay, so we'll go out and take it for a drive real quick, because I want to see what it looks like outside. Okay. Yeah. It's maybe a tiny bit darker than I would like. It's really hard to achieve some colors in this, in the way the color system works. But I'm very pleased with it. Yeah, I mean, it really looks. I mean, it almost looks like a red gold or a rose gold. That's really what it kind of evokes to me right now. And I am pleased with how the wheels look too. It sets it off nicely, and they don't look too out of place on the car. Let's see what it's got. A bit squirrely there. Just trying to keep it tracking straight down the track. Looks very good going down the track though. 165. Yeah, 168. That's very respectable. I have no doubt we could get over 200 easily if we fool around with the gearing. Okay, so I'm not going to sell this just yet. I want to finish up the other one so that I can compare the two of them. Because this one I noticed is pretty. It says 97,000 miles, and it's $130,000, 132 grand, which is quite a lot for an RX-7, honestly. But this other one has like 50,000 more miles on it than that one does. 142 versus 97. Yeah, I used my calculator real quick. It's 47. It's like a 45,000 miles difference between that car and this car. But this one is worth a pile of money. I want to see how much that one is worth when it's finished. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here, and we will come back and finish. We will come back. I will probably finish the yellow one on my own, and then come back and compare and contrast the two of them. But that'll wrap this one up. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you again here for our next Junkyard adventure. And once again, since it is still, as I record this, the 24th of December, wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever holiday you observe, and I hope everything is good with you and yours. So on that note, bye for now.